You were there like 68 to early 70s. Let's talk about that period and what made it so special. Uh, who was the lineup? Who were the jocks at that time?
Well, I was always the morning jock, which I never considered myself to be a great jock, but the budgets didn't afford that we could have a separate jock, and I wanted to get an air shift out of the way. So that's my great esteem for that shift. But I did mornings, and then it was followed by Bob Sherwood.
Who ended up in the music biz.
Ended up in the music biz. Big honka bacha type of a person with CBS Columbia Records. Did a good job for himself. Also had Mercury Records. Signed some of the best acts, like the Def Leppards of the world.
Okay.
At that period of time.
Okay.
After Bob Sherwood, there was Wonder Rabbit, Martin Ashley. After that came Chuck Roy until about 7 o'clock. And then 7 to midnight, there were several people who did that shift that were very, very good. And they interspersed between 7 to midnight and midnight to 6. I'm talking about T. Michael Jordan, Gene Lane, Dr. Tom Becker, Gene Lane, Dr. Tom Becker,
Bunch of them.
and there were several others who were in that period of time, but I just can't remember their names all right now. That was sort of a stepping stone for many of them. Dr. Tom Becker came to town, and as he heard KROY coming into town, he realized what a fan he was of Bill Drake's organization and KHJ or KFRC in San Francisco, and KROY was completely the opposite of that.
Sure. So you actually counter-programmed them, or you didn't want to be like the Drake station?
No, right. Anything but it. We would do parodies on them.
Oh, okay.
Of
because that was called Boss Radio. What was so bad about Boss Radio in your mind?
It was just thundering voices, not saying much.
Contrived.
Very contrived, and high production, and little value. It was like the McDonald's of the world. You got a lot of hamburgers, but very little meat.
Right. Not much nutrition.
And not much in nutrition. And I don't know. I'm not saying Bill Drake was wrong. Don't get me wrong. He was right. And there was a certain audience there.
From a commercial perspective, he basically changed radio.
Right. Because then you had everybody from stations in Marysville, Yuba City, and Stockton, and New Mexico, and California, all trying to sound like Bill Drake stations.
Was KXOA trying to sound like Drake?
At times. At times they were.
So that made KROY even more unique in the market. Like no one was sounding like KROY, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And we would do parodies on KFRC by having I had a jingle set made, which KROY, Double Bubble Golden, and we'd play 2 crappy songs in a row. Then we had Triple Bubble Golden, and then Fipple Bubble Golden. Just to antagonize them. And it worked. And it also let us get out a little bit of steam. It was all about fun. And that's what KROY was.
And as a program director, how much freedom did you give the jocks?
If it was good, they had all the freedom they wanted.
As in artistic freedom.
In artistic freedom, it was, but they had to know how to do it. I'll give you an example. Gene Lane had a song, I can't remember the title of it now, that he wanted us to play, and he wanted to play on his show. And I couldn't see it. And I said, no. And he would bug me daily. about this song. And I kept saying, no, Gene, it doesn't fit in the sound scope. Okay. So I left work one night and I'm driving home. We're on Arden Way, and I just hit up near Sears on Arden Way, where I hear this song.
On his show, right?
On his show, on my radio station. I do the quickest Yui ever.
They didn't have cell phones back then.
Came screeching to a halt and through the doors. I don't even know if I ever even touched the door handle, but I was livid as I went down the hall, opened up the control room door, and there's Gene. His eyes are bigger than $50, and he says, Uncle John, thank God you're here. I go, what do you mean, thank God I'm here? You're in trouble. No, we have a cart machine that is giving us troubles, and fortunately, I thought about it ahead of time, and I made, and he shows it to me.
Made his own
and
cart.
It's labeled the Anti-Emergency Dead Air Cart.
Good one. That saved him, right?
That saved him. And you bet. You win. You got it.
Were you playing records or carts with music back then?
Most of them were records.
Okay.
Yeah.
45s, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
45s and albums.
Okay.
Yeah. And trying to figure out how to get albums on an AM radio station.
Did you ever hear the wrong album cuts on the air? Like a jock favorite, maybe?
Several times. But if you believed in it that much, if you believed in that piece of music that much, to trust it on your own program, then I'd pay attention. And
Because you came from the Tom Donahue KMPX school of thought, right? As far as theater of the mind.
That's
radio.
it. That's it. It meant something to you. And for you to win that small little battle, okay, it boosted your ego to a point to where you really paid attention to your radio program. And you valued it as something sacred. And that going out over the air, you can't spend money for that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't promote that type of a thing. And you'd win that way. Wow, what's that?
Wow.
That was a Wonder Rabbit trick. If you notice how elegant we've gotten in our studios these days.
Outdoor studios, it's a new idea.
Yeah.
So, jocks couldn't just bring their own records from home, right?
No.
Unless they cleared it through you, right?
Correct.
Okay. How about as far as new music? How did you decide what new records would be put on the air?
Well, my first thing was that I was the guy who was considered to have sort of a golden ear.
Because of the gear hour and...
No, and I just could hear hit records.
Mhm.
And some of them, some got by me. And some of them...
You mean like Yummy Yummy got by you?
Yeah. Yeah, it really did. And the Chapel of Love got by me.
And to be clear, did you not play those records?
No, we played it once they
Okay.
proved themselves.
Once they hit top 10 or something? Yeah.
Once they hit number 1.
But if it only hit number 2, sorry.
I'm sorry, it's still not a hit as far as I'm concerned. Now we'd put it on, but we'd program it what I thought was correctly at the time. And looking at the request lines and talking to the DJ, if he got a lot of requests for Yummy Yummy Yummy, that's justification
Gave it
for
a
me
reason
to
to play it.
yeah, put my ego aside and say, okay, we can play it.
Even if
between-
the rockers were switching to K-Zap, right?
Yeah, that was a chance you had to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about, were you there when Stairway to Heaven came out?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so did you play Stairway to
Oh,
Heaven?
God, yes.
Okay, and that was never a single, though. So
No.
you didn't care if it was a single, right?
No.
Okay.
No, as long as it was good.